Right. Hello, lovely people of the internet. My name is Ash. This is I'm Not Trying to Kill You. And we're playing the Court of Swords micro RPG. I'm going to be the GM. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I have with me 3 adventurers and a ghost. Emily, do you want to do your introduction first?
Sure. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a filmmaker and an artist. Sometimes I do portraits of role-playing game characters and other game art-related things. In this game, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. In this game, I am playing Sunan, who is an orc and also a mortician.
That's a good description. Cool. Ashley.
Yeah, it's me. Hi everyone, I'm Ashley. I'm a streamer here on Twitch. My pronouns are also she, her, hers. I play all sorts of games, such as this lovely game with these lovely nerds, where I play a giant snake lady who is a monk and hasn't been able to kick anything's butt yet.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And now we're in the fighty court.
Yeah.
Todd.
Hi, I'm Todd. I'm a security guard and moderator here, and when I'm not doing those 2 things, I stream on my own channel. Pronouns are he, him, and I play Iago, the 3'1" kobold that actually got to murder something finally.
Yeah. And last but not least, Luke.
Hello, I am Luke. I am a game designer and a cast member on channels such as this one and soon some other ones, but I can't tell you about that yet. Today, let me describe my character to you by quoting 4 famous words from Monster Hearts. Ghosty ghost, you're dead. That's my character.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, so last time the episode did kind of like devolve into a series of really shit rolls by all of you.
Yeah.
And yeah, Raindrop got possessed by a ghost. How did Raindrop handle that?
Raindrop set the body on fire.
Yeah.
They threw a tantrum. They were like, if I can't have this body all to myself, no one can have the body. Go fuck yourself. Which is a very Raindrop way to behave.
Yep. Yeah.
And so now, to quote Adam Coble, I have become a hungry ghost, doomed to lurk over the shoulders of my friends as they continue on without me. I become a split pool of points which I can use to influence the game. And they are yin, I have yin essence and I have yang essence. And I can use them to fuck with people.
Yeah. Before we get started properly, though, we do need to do everyone's tarot readings amongst each other. So, if that's the case, who would like to start?
I'll do it. I'll start. I'm assuming we draw tarot with Raindrop as Raindrop is a
I mean, you
ghost?
kind of do still.
Well, so here is my argument for why you don't. Which is that everything in the section I am reading about my new ghost powers suggests that I'm not I'm not visible, right? I can't talk to people, I can't take actions, I become a pool of points, which suggests I'm not a character anymore.
Yeah, sorry, it does say, you're a pool of points, not a character.
I'm just general spook.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, quick, not very many cards today then.
Yeah, but as my equivalent of the card drawing, there is a very important question I need to ask you all.
Cool.
Okay, well...
That it says I need to ask in the rules, but you do your cards first.
Yeah. I will draw a card with Iago, which is the 3 of Cups.
Which
Cups is encourage your companion to celebrate a victory. I think we can probably do that one.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
That seems doable.
The Three of Cups represents friendship, community, and happiness.
Yeah.
Aw, yay.
All right. Do you want to do one with Sunan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
One card. It is the Knight of Swords.
Ooh.
It's a sword.
We haven't had many swords.
We're in the Court of Swords.
Overcome a powerful foe with your companion through force or action.
Fantastic. All right, we've got to
That
beat
leads
someone
to
up.
Celebrating a
That's rad.
Love it. Yeah, and then we get to celebrate it. This sounds great. I'm on board.
Yeah.
And then we just need one for Sunan and Iago.
I'll draw the card if that's okay. Yeah. The 9 of Swords.
Okay.
Express a deep anxiety to your companion.
Ooh.
Oh, a deep anxiety. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, I think we open on the the bustling streets of a city in the. Oh, you have to ask questions, Luke.
I have to ask a question, which is this. So, let me find it. Death and dying, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I begin with 2 each of yin and yang essence, plus 1 according to the nature of my demise. And the rules seem to suggest that you guys get to make that decision.
Okay.
So did I die in a really yang way or a really yin way?
I mean, you got possessed by a ghost and then literally immolated yourself.
I believe that's yin.
That sounds like yang to me. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
seems yang to me.
Cool, okay.
If you'd withered away from the ghost, that would be yin.
Yeah. And, like, the reason I got possessed is because I was, like, stabbing it and trying to, like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
shred
That's
it with
the way
raw
out.
fountain power.
Yeah.
How is the immolating yourself spell different to the spell that immolates everything but yourself?
This spell is, like... You've played Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. Ashley, are you familiar with a spell called Meteor Swarm?
Yeah,
It's kind of like that.
great. Perfect.
Or, like, alternatively, actually, I think what it is that it is a spell for, like, destroying, like, possessed aberrations, right? Like, the spell is, like, you, like, scorch with holy fire the, like, body, the possessed body and flesh of, like, a horrible ghost person abomination. I just target it on myself.
You've targeted yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Cool. I'm just quickly doing a thing. So yeah, we open on like the like bustling streets of a like a small city in the Court of Swords. I think the roofs are thatched and are constructed using like and like most of the buildings are constructed using like the bamboo and palm leaves is like to give to make sure that like ventilation is good, and like there are a bunch of buildings that do this thing where they like started off as a single story building and then they build a second story on top and then they extend it sideways and just put some like some struts down, some like stilts, and then someone else has built something in the space underneath that because they don't have to build a roof, and this whole town is like it is is like built around this. Is built in this style where it's very clear that like there's no one saying what should or shouldn't be built in certain ways, but it's all really clearly like it's all like surprisingly well signed. So like everything that like every naturally occurring street, someone has placed up a sign for it, saying, you know, this is such and such street. And the whole city is built around this this meeting of two rivers into one, and in the middle where those two rivers meet, because of the directions that they come in from, one coming in quite quickly from like the nearby nearby mountains, and one like slowly ambling towards the town. There's this huge whirlpool in the middle of the city just continually, and it turns up. And so like we see the group walk past like along a promenade near this, and there's just like dozens and dozens of people on the side of the on the shore with like kind of like crab nets, but they're just like putting them into the water and scooping things out, and seeing if they got like fish or like seafood or just rocks and seaweed, and so they're just doing this scooping thing because it'll get churned up by this giant whirlpool that turns in the center of the city.
Okay, but Ash, is this the central place of worship for the Wheel of Fortune in the entire microverse?
There are so
because,
many
like,
Wheel of Fortune people here.
Yeah, this sounds like this has to be like where the major temple is built, right?
But
Like,
I don't think that they like. I think that's the thing, right? There isn't a temple built as such.
it is
right?
a temple. Yeah, just like
the whirlpool
a
is the
natural
temple.
one. Yeah.
In fact, there's probably a bunch of people like scooping out things from the whirlpool and like predicting futures and things from them, right? Like reading omens,
casting the bones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's definitely that. What is? I'm trying to think of a word. What's the word for a piece of like wood across the bottom of a doorway? Threshold.
Yep.
Threshold?
Yeah.
Doorstep.
Yeah, no, it's threshold. Cool.
Can the town be called Many Meetings?
I mean, yes, now it is.
Great.
I'm just gonna do this. I'm not really playing a character anymore. I'm just gonna suggest cool.
GM me. That's fine.
I'm just gonna suggest cool world building shit, and also make spooky things happen. Speaking of which, hey Ash, can I make? I'm gonna make a spooky thing happen.
Yep, sure. There's a handout there for you, team. In handouts.
Oh, cool. Actually, no. I'm not gonna make a spooky thing happen yet. I'm gonna.
So this is a little like this library card, like it sits in the back of a. It would sit in a scroll or in a book to say who has been borrowing this, and it's got a list of a whole bunch of different people who've borrowed it, but the card says that that like no one's borrowed it since it was last checked in to the to the library. Now you're pretty sure, based on some rumors that you've heard, the Wisdom Threshold lives in many meetings, but that's about as much as you know.
Right. So presumably the library is somewhere here, and this is the book. This is a book that we're looking for because it would potentially give us a way to take the ghost.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. But yeah, at the moment, I think you're passing through like this promenade. There's the smell of like fish that have been caught up out of the river, which I think, considering you just come from the Court of Cups, it's such a different smell to have the smell of freshwater fish as opposed to the saltwater fish that you'd been catching, and so it's a much more it's much more earthy, pungent sort of fish smell that is like lining. And there's people with all sorts of like crawfish and those sorts of things in like baskets and things. And then there's all of these stalls. I think where they're little like they're like two poles and a little bit of like colourful cloth to like shade them. With people like selling. They're not selling fortune tellings. They're selling something else. I think it's. I think they're selling like blessings turned up by the or rather they will fish you a blessing out of the maelstrom. So they call out to you and like everyone's saying that they're the luckiest. They're saying like, Pow is the luckiest of all of the fishermen here. He never turns up a fish at all. Only ever blessings. Come, for only a small price, I can fish you something special just for you. And like all of these, like dozens of people.
Fish. I know a con right here one.
He's like, no, I don't need fish when I can fish what I can. And he's like, all of these different people are like yelling to you.
Than a false blessing from a con man.
He's like, oh wait, he's like, away with you, Mogwai. You're bad for business. You're too sensible for this nonsense.
I just like walk away smoking my pipe.
Yeah, and like as soon as you walk away, like a woman like dragging along a child is like goes up to him and is like and the child's like, no, I want to go and do something else, and the mum's like, no, well, I need my blessing, so you'll have to wait. And like, yeah, he's immediately got customers.
I flip the kid like a copper. Cool.
Yeah, you do that, and the kid's like because it's a gift from a Mogwai, and he's like, oh, wow. What is everyone else up to?
I think Nephthys is asking like a guard or some
there are lots
sort of official for directions to this library.
So you like you find like one of the like random guards around, and you ask for directions, and the guard like looks you up and down, and she's like I'm not a tour guide. I'm here to keep you safe, citizen.
And she says, clearly not here to be polite either.
She's like, I'm very well trained in combat. I haven't spent time learning. I haven't spent time in a finishing school. She says, like, and she like looks at your monk's garb, as if like there's an implication that like you spent time like learning rituals and things, which are not important to her.
I think I'm standing with Nephthys, and like I just sort of like grab the arm of someone like going past, and just like whoever happens to be going past, and say, do you know of a library in the town? Like, I'm just gonna start just like, because this person's obviously like completely unhelpful, so I just start grabbing people.
Okay, cool. I'd like to spend a point. I'd like to do a thing.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm gonna mark off a point. So here's what happens, right?
A yang energy.
I'm spending yin.
Oh, yeah, because it's the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm spending yin. So now you grab this person's like arm, and they turn around, and suddenly their robes are like much more splendid than they were. It's like this familiar robe in a pattern of like crimson and gold and scarlet all interwoven with one another, and like all of these beautiful flowers on it. but instead of a face, there's just a skull looking back at you.
Right.
And
Right.
this person like reaches up to like where you've grabbed their shoulder and like tries to take your hand off, and you just feel like the cold bone of their fingers like touch you, and then you blink and it's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Okay.
this person is like, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. You kind of mumbled.
Yeah, because I imagine like as I saw that, I kind of like lost the end of my sentence.
Yeah.
So I sort of like.
And it's like, any of these fortune tellers will happily sell you lies if you ask.
No, sorry. A library. We're looking for a library. Does anyone here have a collection of books?
The person like looks at the guard, and then like, yeah, and then grabs you, like actually grabs your hand and like takes it off their shoulder, and is like, there are a lot of books in town. This is a very popular place for scholars, and like, let's go of your hand, and like you know.
Oh, I think I've
Yeah.
taken. I just sort of like.
Yeah, and they like give you like a sign for like good day or something.
So they looked at the guard 1st, and then answered like that. Did it seem like a furtive kind of like, oh, I better not say stuff while the guard is watching? Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I give Neff just like a significant glance along the lines of like, we should talk away from this guard person.
Yeah, Nephthys like shakes her tail rattle and turns from the guard and slithers away in a huff.
And yeah, the guard's like, I never learned to dance either.
I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna.
She would love to fight you.
So I think I sort of locate Iago in the crowd, kind of like lead Nephthys over there, and I say, two thoughts. One, it seems like at least the guards, or at least that guard, doesn't want a library talked about here. I tried to ask someone. They seemed like they didn't want to talk about it where the guard could hear them. Also, I think there might be some kind of death presence here. Something a little strange.
While we're here, of course, there's a death presence here. That's all we ever go to.
It's true.
Yeah. I just sort of like nod.
Well, I had heard rumors of death cropping up all over the Court of Swords.
In particular ways.
In the marshes. People say a necromancer king. Probably rubbish.
Dead, and I hate the marshes. Never go there.
Meanwhile, I'm kind of like stroking like my face, like thoughtfully, like, dead marshes, you say?
Yes.
Iago, while you're having this conversation, you feel just the slightest tug at your shirt.
Is it like my height, or is it like someone pulling up at it?
It's about your height.
Okay. I turn
Cool.
and like straighten up.
Do you want to roll swords for me?
Swords, I definitely can do that. That's body,
Swords
right?
or swords or body. I think it's swords.
What if my body is made of swords?
No,
Look at
that's
what he's
our
made of
car
nothing.
sword that we talked about. But
Oh no, that's the car. You're right.
I mean,
get a 7.
Ash, by swords, don't you mean body?
Sorry, I mean mind.
Or Oh, mine.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry, mind or body.
Mindful.
I'm off on my own thing.
Gotta stop calling them by their.
Yeah, sorry, I know. I play too many games with these stats. Right, cool. So 9 means that you see. I think you turn and you see someone like slink away around a corner. They're probably a Mogwai, because they're about a similar height to you, but they've disappeared around the corner.
Okay.
Your belt is a little lighter.
Dang it.
Give me about a half hour. I'll be back. I just like walk off nonchalantly around that corner.
I think like, do we see you like pat your belt or anything?
No.
Like,
No, it's
no. Okay. I think I just start walking after you, and I say something like, we should stick together. We'll come help you.
Don't
This is-
split the party.
This is something I'll handle. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And I sort of like put my hands up, like, not gonna get in your business.
Cool. What happens next?
I just walk and go around the corner.
The person is running down the end of the alley.
Okay.
A bunch of lanterns from a recent festival, like just are still like jangling from like them running past them.
Okay.
It's a really
I take
narrow
off as
alley.
well.
You gonna chase him?
Yep.
Cool. Roll body.
11.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah. You.
This is what.
Yeah,
Remind
you
me how
catch
to go.
this.
Chases are what I'm good at.
Yeah, this you like catch up to this Mogwai, and you like leap on them and like tackle them and turn them over, and they
I'd
look
like to do a thing.
yeah
I would keep making it spooky.
yeah.
Good job tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a ghost now. So I think like as you like run, you notice that as they go past, each of the lanterns is just like snuffing out of its own accord, like to mark their passage. And you like jump on them and you turn them over and you see their face. And I don't know how many like tieflings you've ever seen in your life, but like they have like it's like a mogwai, but then they've got like this long like curving pair of like ram's horns and these like glowing sickly green eyes that are like the unmistakable signs of one of whose parents like fucked with the Mara or just fucked the Mara, depending upon your preference. And they like open their mouth to like say something, and you just see this like triple forked tongue like slither out and like taste the air really near your face, and it's like black and like cracked looking, and this like disgusting pale like silver is like seeping out of the wounds and like drops on the concrete in front of you and like rises up like acid, like smoke rises, and then you blink and it's just back to normal.
Okay, I think like as that's happening, I'll like bring my like hand down, just like hammer fist the side of their head, and then the spirits, and I'll just like stop. Like, I'll take back what's mine now.
She doesn't notice your hand because she has a blindfold over her eyes, but she's like, what's yours? I don't understand. She's like, what are you talking about?
And I start patting her down.
Yeah, and you could like she has in her hand like the pouch that she stole from you.
Yeah. But I'm gonna like search everywhere else.
Yeah,
See what she has.
Yeah, she's like, away with you, thief. This is she's like, away with you, thief. Off of me, get off. And I think you find that she has like a very fine I don't think it's a dagger, I think it's like a razor. She has a very fine razor, and probably some jewelry on her that it wouldn't fit on her wrists.
Yeah. So I take back my pouch, hold the razor, like flick it out, look down at her, flick it back close, throw it back down to her and like, what do you know about a library?
She's like, you don't want no libraries here. No libraries here, sir. Cursed. You're everyone. Everyone here knows that. It's
Why?
it's. She's like, knowledge is a curse. Ignorance is bliss. And yeah, she's just saying like things that are like idioms or something like that. As she's trying to like get away so she can just run from you.
If I let you up and give you some money, will you talk? And I say that in Mogwai.
Roll soul. Not soul. Heart.
Okay. And it's +1 because I'm lying to her.
Hey, nice, cool. She's like, yeah, she's like, let me keep my spoils. You can keep yours.
I haven't taken anything that wasn't mine.
And she like pats herself down and checks, and she's like, what do you want to know?
Why is everyone so afraid of libraries?
And she's like, yeah, she's like, everyone keeps their own books. It's fine. That your knowledge you own is your own, but the library, it's, you don't want to steal knowledge. Thoughts and ideas written down on paper, you can own those, and to read them without permission, well, that's not, it's theft.
I am trying to like understand this real screwed logic because like I come from the city of Brass where knowledge is like traded like money.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, she's kind of saying that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in a different way, like she as if there is like DRM on.
Yes, it has to belong to someone because publicly owned knowledge is wrong.
Well, publicly known knowledge is publicly known, but like if someone
But
owns
the thing
it,
is, I can't read, so I've never.
yeah, right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Something about
I think she touches
borrowing
her.
of
I think she like when she's like talking now, she's like fiddling with her blindfold really nervously. Like she can tell she's not comfortable being like telling you these things.
One last thing, and then I will let you go.
She's like, yeah, and she says, "This isn't fair, but okay."
And now, once per session, I can ask you, the GM, what does the street say about this? Where can I find Arch Clerk Wizen Threshold?
Yeah, nice, cool, good job. Yeah,
And they will answer honestly.
yeah, and she says, I've only ever seen him. I've never seen him outside of the library, except for each evening he goes to the baths. I think it relaxes him. Can I go?
Yes. And I don't give her any money, I walk away.
Yeah, and she you can see her turn her head to like listen to you walking away, and then she scampers.
Okay. I go back to where Nephthys and Sudan are waiting.
As you sort of come up, I kind of
I like brushing off
raise
like
my
some
eyebrows
dirt.
at you, and I'm like, "Did you solve your problem?
Yes, and I think I solved all of ours.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What did you
You
learn?"
tell.
Everyone in this town thinks that reading a book is stealing someone else's thoughts, and that's why they're all so messed up.
Well, that's ridiculous.
I know. I can't read, and that still sounds dumb to me.
You can't read.
No. It's how people could give me a message and know I wouldn't sell it to other people.
Makes sense.
Well, that's clearly flawed. Of course you could still sell it to other people.
I don't know the inherent value of it. They trusted me more that way.
I mean, more for them for trusting a Mogwai. No offense.
Hey, I come from the city of Brass. The people that were trusting me weren't very trustworthy to start with.
So how do we find this person?
They're either at the libraries or at the bars. So, only two places to go. And the bars at night.
The baths.
Was it bar or bards?
Baths.
Oh, bath.
Yeah,
oh,
sorry.
bards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you go to get wet.
Yeah.
Where you go to get wet. Okay. I thought you said bard as in like.
I heard bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baths,
Accent.
yeah.
It's all three. It is a bath that has an attached bar where some
bar.
bards
Oh, it
sing.
definitely has, like, they definitely, like, bring you, like,
Drink.
sake or whatever, and was it, wouldn't be sake, would it?
I thought you were going to say they
Rice
bring
wine.
you
No,
bars.
it'd be like
Yeah, there's probably a bar at the corner, though.
They bring you, like, some kind of, like, booze, and there is music being played.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yep.
Should we go tonight?
This is the best course.
Even if we don't get to talk to this person, maybe we can see something, learn something by how they interact with others.
Oh, and watch your pockets.
I don't have pockets.
Okay, everyone but the person that doesn't carry anything.
Yeah, I look very serious and I'm like, okay. Like, begin, like, sort of. No, I don't think I don't start reorganizing where my, like, valuables are yet, but I, like, am sort of patting, like, my clothes, like, to make sure I know where everything is.
Cool. So, what do you do anything else, or do you just head toward the baths in the evening?
I think maybe Nephthys is wondering if there's any like monasteries in this town that she can visit and trade some knowledge with local monks.
Yeah, definitely. There would be. Yeah. There is there is obviously a I think there's a monastery of like people who are like monks of the river or the three rivers, because they're like they don't study it for like religious purposes, but rather just to like more way of lifey. They like and I think that it's one of the oldest buildings here actually, and like as you approach it, because people will happily tell you where that is, as you approach it, it's made of stone, and the stones are so weathered. They look like, and they've also got like coloration on them, and I think you probably like look at them and it seems like they have had water running over them for like a really, really long time. It's nestled in amongst like a section of the city where there's like a retaining wall, and then like the faster of the rivers comes down over in through like a large like trough just before it gets towards the area where the and then like resumes its course. But yeah, it's like nestled up against this retaining wall, and I think it has a sea serpent, like a serpent, like a water snake, as its symbol, like engraved over the mantle, the lintel. But yeah, when you approach there's a little there's a monk behind like, I think he's just sitting in one corner of like the like entryway, and is reading something, it's not like bound, but it's like a pamphlet or something, and he's reading it and like looks up and is like, "Oh, well, we are very blessed today, aren't we? Goodness, your name, Naga, friend?"
Yeah, so she bows, and says, "I'm Nephthys. I come from a monastery far away. I was admiring your stonework. Not much in this city."
Yeah, and he says, yes, a treasure to us. From long before the city was as it is today, I believe, many of us do, that this city was founded by this temple.
And so from my my life as a mason in my monastery, can I like garner some hidden piece of knowledge about the stonework that they didn't know?
Yes. It's, I mean, how much do you know about history? Are you well studied in history?
I wouldn't necessarily say well studied in history.
I think you have a
because I only have I've got a -1 mind, so
yeah. All right. I think there is a term you don't fully understand. Fully understand it, but the term for this kind of stonework, big heavy pieces of stone exquisitely carved so that they slot together and don't move, rather than using any kind of like mortar or anything. It's Stone of the Fool.
Yeah, so
it basically just means it's ancient as fuck.
Yeah, so I say that and say this building is incredibly old. Stonework like this hasn't been used since before the Arcana, really.
Yeah, and he's like, before the Arcana. Oh, you have such strange words. What's the actual? It's not Naga. What's the actual word that they use?
I think it is. Isn't it?
It is. I think it is Naga.
Okay. It says.
Yeah, it's
it says, "I don't understand your wisdom, Naga, but I hope one day I may." Would you like introducing to perhaps the master of this dojo?
Yes, she says yes. That would be quite nice. I seek information that perhaps your master can share.
Yeah, and he's like, yes, of course. Master Comfortable Sandal will be very happy to meet you. And like, yeah, he bustles you through. And yeah, there most of the people are just like doing little tasks around like maintaining the place. But there are a couple of people in like a main room that you can see that has had a ceiling put on it, where it didn't previously have one. And in that main room, which is poorly lit because presumably previously it didn't need to be lit, there are people like doing like katas, and yeah, he takes you through into like a tiny little office that's like janitor's closet sized, and like nestled away in there is like a wise old monk. They look up at you and they're like, "Wow, this is a day, isn't it?" And like looks to the man, the monk, the portrait, is like, "Thank you, Bon. Please, please make sure that our guest, please organize some food and maybe a drink for our guest. And Barnard's like, yes, of course. Yeah, and Master Comfortable Sandal is like, would you sit? I'm not sure if that's rude. Like, just drinking on a stool.
Nephthys bows again, and says, strange, not many places in Naga is seen as a blessing. And she sort of waves away at the chair and like coils down next to him.
Them.
Like sitting on her own weight.
This person, I don't think you can judge any gender from their appearance.
Yeah. And so Nephthys, I'm doing it myself now.
Yeah.
You keep doing it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if it's actually just I worked out that I have a lisp.
No, you don't have a lisp. That doesn't sound like a lisp.
So she coils down and she does a complicated set of hand gestures that denotes what her monastery is about. Some set that the master knows that I'm from this monastery on the cliffs in the with cups. I think we decided way back in episode 1.
And they're like, oh goodness, I've heard of that place. I've never seen anything from there or anyone. I'm sorry.
And she says, yes, I am on a pilgrimage of sorts. My master died in a tragic, preventable accident, and
workplace health and safety is so important these days.
Of course. It is now my solemn duty to guide my master to the heavens, where he may be judged accordingly. And she takes the hooker off her back and puts it on the ground and takes the cover off.
Yeah, they're like shocked and they are back a little. And they're like, oh goodness, to be bound in such a thing, this to be unreturned to the wheel. This is a grim fate indeed, friend. He says, addressing the hooker.
And Nephthys says, unfortunately, our journey has so far been for naught. We've travelled all over the world and keep coming up against problems. But I feel even if we find a way to ascend to the gods, I don't know how to get the damn thing open.
And they like rock back in laughter and like, friend, that was not what I expected. Is it? And they're like, is it not glass? Does it not break?
In the first week, I dropped it from the top of the monastery by accident. It just clattered to the ground.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't know much of magic, but I imagine that if I were trapped inside something like this and not able to return to heaven, I would at least want to be kept safe from the things outside.
Yes. So perhaps he is preventing his own escape for now.
Yeah, and it's like, a hermit crab will protect their shell until they can find one that is, I think, like, hermit crabs sea, but anyway, a hermit crab will protect its shell until it finds one that is, protect its shell violently until it finds one that is more suitable as it grows. If there is nothing nearby for your master to, if there's nothing better for your master to inhabit, why not protect what he has? Isn't that right, my friend? And yeah, like there's this like, you can tell that there's this like sense of like peership between them and the ghost.
Yeah, the sand in the hookah, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But surely you didn't come to me for knowledge of the beyond. I am explicitly a master of the here and now, of the physical form, of the way of water.
Yeah, Nephthys puts the cover back over the hookah and looks to the door where the other monk left and says, "Your brothers and sisters read openly, something that I gathered is not popular in the city."
They say, "Oh, Barn?" Oh, he always buys the newspaper. He's a funny one. I understand that he would have worked in the library if he could, but I don't think he's got everything needed for that particular kind of work.
Mm-hmm. And Nephthys says, "This library not popular in the town."
Yeah, and they're like, Threshold used to be a good man. We were friends once. Now he has a reputation for a little more justice than is appropriate.
I see. This seems like the kind of person who might hold information that I acquire on my pilgrimage. If you have any advice for interacting with them.
Yeah, and they slump back in their chair and then think to themselves, and says, "Have someone with you who knows how to bargain, because coin is not enough to soothe wisdom threshold."
That's the thing I'm good at.
Yeah, so Nephthys, I don't know if Naga laugh, but there's an equivalent.
Yeah, you do a laugh thing.
Yeah, something like that.
A specific rattle of your tail or something.
Mm-hmm. And she bows and says, "You've been very helpful, my friend. Should I have the time, I'd gladly inspect your temple when we're preparing to leave, see if I can give any advice for maintaining the stonework."
Yeah, and I think they say, "Well, that would be very helpful. An exchange of expertise, perhaps."
Exactly.
And they're like, and then Barn comes back in and is like, I could only find this morning some leftover bow from this morning, and and some ale. And like you can just see that he looks like completely like, I've really not like done enough, but like, and I think like comfortable sandal is like excellent, Mong. That will our friend is just leaving, but I'm glad that you've delivered me lunch.
Yeah, and I guess we fade out on Nephthys like leaving the room.
I think that's a good time for a break then.
Yep.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Come back. I'd want to see what's in.
Yeah, cool, sounds good. Alright, we'll be back shortly.